In this video, I'm going to just be talking about which slime is the best for just getting a high combat power. Now remember, a high combat power is just kind of a vanity thing. If you want to see your name up high on the leaderboard, it doesn't actually mean you're going to have the best results as far as just battling in-game, but it's kind of fun to have a high combat power for the leaderboard. I'm going to be looking at this from a paid version as well as a free-to-play, just because it is going to depend on whether you're free to play, because there is a really good paid slime, Volcan, I'll talk about in a second. That's just really good for getting high combat power. If you're free to play, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to start with the pay to play version just because it's a little cut and dry. It's Volcan here. And the reason Volcan's so good, and just the reason you need to, when you're looking at how much combat power or in what affects combat power, one of the biggest stats that just affects combat power is attack. So when we go to Volcan's just stats, you're going to see 80% bonus attack, 120% bonus attack. Those are just really big. Even though you are lacking a lot of HP, so like if I go to Nepris, you're going to see Nepris has 80% attack, 120% HP. But when comparing these two slimes, and this is without just optimizing my runes and different things, but Nepris has 85.8 million combat power right now. Volcan's going to have 93.6. Just because of all that attack he has, I go over to his equipment stats. He just has loads of attack. That attack stat is definitely just really key as far as combat power goes. And really, that's one of the only reasons Volcan is so good for combat power. It's just that pure attack stat. Now, when we get to free to play, the answer gets a little interesting here. Typically, a lot of times, Yolanda is actually going to, as well as just being the best for just combat and gameplay, Yolanda is actually really good for combat power as well. There are certain situations, though, where other slimes might have an advantage. So, Yolanda, and the reason why, once again, she's so good as far as combat power, so we have 60% attack at level 25, then 75 at level 75, we get an additional 80% attack. So we're at 140% bonus attack. Now, the reason why she is still good for combat power compared to another slime, which I'll get to in a second, is just because she is a double S tier slime. So the other one that is just pretty good for combat power, but is a little weaker in some areas, and depending on what you have, and this is just as far as permanent buffs, artifacts, is Yzabel. So Yzabel is only an S tier slime, and so because Yzabel is an S tier slime, Yzabel is going to have just less base stats as far as attack and HP. But when you get into looking at Yzabel, you're actually going to notice Yzabel has 40% bonus attack, 60% bonus attack, another 80%. So in total, Yzabel has 180% bonus attack. So Yzabel is going to have just a lot more attack, but because Yzabel is an S tier slime, that 180% bonus attack is going to have less attack to scale off of one compared to Yolanda, even though Yolanda has a good amount of 140%. Sometimes it can depend. Sometimes you might actually just have better luck using Yolanda versus Yzabel. Now, this is going to vary a little depending on what like your gear's merged up to. So if you have a full set of mythic gear, like mythic +3 weapon as well as a helmet. So right now I have a mythic +3 weapon, but only a mythic +1 helmet. So if I go over like Yolanda right now, I'm at 87. Yzabel, I'm at 86.3. They're very close. But if I go and like switch out this Dominator's Crown, I didn't switch out my runes or anything, but I'm at 80.2 and then like 79.9. So it does depend, and I'm sure if you had a helmet at mythic +3, it actually might just be exactly even, or Yzabel might have a slight advantage here. Other things that are going to factor into this are permanent buffs, as I mentioned earlier, just because if you have permanent buffs that provide a lot of bonus attack, and so if I go over to my permanent buffs within the Slime Village, you're going to see like it just provides a flat amount of attack, which I don't have any attack permanent buffs right here, but it works very similar to HP, where it gives you a flat amount, and then that is going to be affected by your percentage bonuses. So if you have loads of permanent buffs and you're free to play, then Isabel will actually probably compensate for that more and give you a higher power amount, just because he has 180% bonus attack, where Yolanda only has 140% bonus attack. So you're actually probably going to, if you have a lot of permanent buffs, Isabel could be the better option. That's going to be the same with artifacts. So early on, I'm not getting a big impact from this, just because the artifacts aren't as effective. So right here, I mean, I have that 120. I mean, I didn't level this one at all up. But if I went and equipped it, this to Yolanda, as well as swapped the, I'll do it real quick. I'll swap the Orb of Flame to Isabel, and then I'm going to rotate this Radiant Halo to Yolanda. So we're going to see Yolanda's at 87.8. I go to Isabel, it's 87.3. So because of, once again, because of those attack percentages, if I had these artifacts maybe leveled up to like 3 stars, level 120, Isabel's probably going to just become stronger just because of all that bonus attack scaling. But early on, where you don't, if you don't have a lot of just flat base bonus attack, Isabel's not going to be as beneficial, just because you are missing out on those bonus stats right here. That just that S tier versus the double S tier, just because Isabel does have less base stats. But one caveat I did want to add here is Win is currently only available to paid players, so you can only get him with real money. However, down the road, hopefully soon, they're actually going to make Win available for gems, and this is probably going to happen in the next update or two. But once Win is available for gems and for free-to-play players, he's actually probably going to be the best just option as far as combat power for free-to-play players. That's because if we go into Win's just unique skills here, for level 25, we get 60% bonus attack. Then at level 100, we get 120% bonus attack. So we're going to get that 180% bonus attack that you get with Isabel, actually. But instead, because Win is a double S tier slime, he's going to just have that same just base stats as Yolanda. So if we, compare Isabel and then Win here, and then I have Yolanda equipped right now, I'm at 87.8 combat power. Then I equip Win, I'm at 89.5. And this is even with, when we go and look at the artifacts, I did equip that Radiant Halo to Yolanda. But then when I go over to Win, I actually only have a level 1 epic tier artifact just equipped to Win. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any more questions as far as combat power builds, or just anything else you want to see in the game.